Hi guys. This is a look. Um, I'm a little tired today, so I got like a few hours of sleep. So we might get a little like 2008 Britney Spears in this video where I just snap and shave my entire head. I've got some baby hairs that want to shave off my head right now. It may happen. But this is going to be a one-take wonder video. I have absolutely no patience for editing today. I don't want to hear my stupid voice talking for 20-30 minutes and just have to pare it down. So I got on, comfy clothes. I got on sweats. It's one of those kind of days. But this is going to be a shoot from the hip kind of video. One take, probably like 30 minutes. Lord knows how I go and ramble on forever. So, few things very quick. One, I'm tired. Two, the first course is coming. Cringe. Not on teaching copy because I don't have the emotional bandwidth for that undertaking. But it is going to be for freelancers and like no ETA date. Like I'd like to release it this year, but also there's holidays and your girl wants to eat 400 pounds of turkey and not look at my emails. I don't know. We'll see. But the point is, anyone who's interested, it's going to be on presenting yourself professionally as a freelancer. Like someone who really wants to go all in on freelancing and really diving in, being professional. Of course, this is the assumption that you're not a beginner. This is not for beginners. It's you need experience, you need a portfolio, you need to be like on that level, and then this is just going to be like the icing on the cake to your whole image. So the week one will be a lot of like this is just my thoughts, so anybody who's interested, please like let me know below. I really want to make it like 4 weeks. I only have 3 weeks of ideas kind of fleshed out. The first week is like the whole mindset shift of going from like employee to freelancer, aka like a business professional, which sounds really silly and just like, oh, I'm not gonna make you do like affirmations, but it's gonna be like, okay, this is not, it is a completely different shift mentally to prepare yourself accordingly to be like now making the executive decisions, how I deal with it, things I do. The next week will be like sounding professional, so like done for you scripts for, I think like right now I have like 15 of the most common problems of a client can't pay your rate, asking them to fill out your questionnaire, asking them. Also, this ideally in my brain will be for anybody who wants to do any kind of freelance skills and look professional, because it's really just like managing clients and shifting from freelancer to business owner. And then the third week will be like, I'm thinking the back end of my systems, like the actual nitty gritty on like, okay, a client is interested. Like, here's exactly what I plugged it into. Here's how I set up auto reminders. Here's how I like manage client projects. Here's how I manage payments, manage calls, manage like just everything that you would need to save yourself a buttload of time to blah blah blah. Anyway, so and then the fourth week, I don't know what else to like add on to that. 3 weeks just feels incomplete. Like I'm just a person who likes to work in month chunks. Oh, this video is gonna get long, already at 3:30. Okay, so that number 2. If I did this video up today, there's 8 days left of my mentorship for the rest of the year. That's it. I mean, if you're a person who's like, I've had people who have had personal disasters in the middle of like my months, and of course I will fit you in however it needs to work for the rest of the year. Don't worry, I'm not talking to you. For anybody else, yes, October's it, because November and December are messes. So that is it for the rest of the year for mentorship. I don't know if it'll probably come back, but I don't know for sure when. There's no like ETA date. So if you were interested in like working with me one-on-one for a month at probably the lowest price I'll ever be again, form down below. Number 3, if you auto reply through my site, I've been moving things around on the back end of my site, and I broke my email about a week ago. I didn't realize it. I was just like not getting emails, and I was like, that's strange. Not people who are talking to me on my one that's like at gmail.com. Like that one's safe, that one's fine. I've been emailing you, you're cool. Anybody who's filled out a contact thing on my website, anybody who emailed like whatever, I have someone on now to help me manage emails and help me to manage YouTube comments, because I don't have time to be cleaning out the spam. So if you want to like talk shit to me, like, I don't see it, thank you. Someone else filters that before me now and deletes like weird, creepy comments and all just massively deleted, and bless for that. But anyway, we were like, why is my inbox dry? That's so strange. And then I realized that if you move your domain host around, your email stops. So anyway, cool tech. I hate it. Cool. That's it. Those are oh no, and the last one. Lots of announcements. I'm going to be doing like monthly, for anybody who has the stomach to handle it, for me to roast you. A lot of people send me copywriting to review. I don't have time to do it personally one-on-one, because that's like part of my, like, if you want to pay for like an hour of my time or the whole month, I will happily review all of your copy, and I will take time and go through it and like talk about it and this and that. But I don't have time to do that for free. I barely have time to even answer emails. I get probably like 50 a day, and it's just, which is not a lot, but that's like when you need, it's a lot when you gotta write personalized replies, thus the help with the emails. So anyway, I'm gonna put a link down below to anybody who wants me. If you want me to ever review your copy, this is the chance to get that done. Cool. And it's gonna be on my YouTube channel, so it's gonna be public. You don't have to put your name if you don't want to put your name for, you know, your work. But yeah, form below, and then once a month I'll go through them if there's anything. And if there's like no copy, cool, I'll move on to something else. But like once a month I'm gonna go through, review all the copy in there, talk about it, like kind of shoot from the hip live, probably like my screen recording in the background. So that is it. Let's move on to the topic of the video, which is lifestyle design. I wanted to talk about this mainly because I think out of everybody I've ever talked to or worked with who's in the copywriting world, probably 10% of them are in copywriting because they enjoy copywriting, and 90% are in it, well, like another half of that for people who just want to like get rich and they think copywriting is like the way they're gonna do it. Or on top of that, it's people who want to design their life and they want to have control over their schedule, because copywriting is one of those things that falls into that area, right? If you want, you know, there's like, if you're an EMT, like you can't really like freelance that, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I'll get back to you whenever. Like, no, you need to work as a, are EMTs and paramedics the actual same thing? Anyway, you need to like work as an employee. There is no like freelancing that. So I think, you know, copywriting naturally attracts people who are interested in lifestyle design. But just, you know, I had thoughts on it because I get emails about this like every other day. And here's the real truth about like lifestyle design. Number one, if you want to move to a country that has zero cost of living, basically, compared to the US, it is going to be much easier. That's why a lot of people will move to other countries and pay rent that's like $100 and build up their business that way, because your expenses are so low. However, if you really, really want to have freedom over your schedule and design your life, here's what you need to know. Number one, while you're building your reputation and while you're becoming somebody worth being paid for, you're gonna have to eat shit for like a while. It's gonna suck. You're gonna have, like, I was working around the clock, which, you know, I don't know if I had to work that much, but I was working constantly. I was always on social media. I replied within like 5 minutes to every single email. I was reaching out to everybody all the time. I was attending calls. I was attending seminars. I was like doing all these things that like to just get my name out there. And, you know, I should have shortcutted a lot of it by just like reaching out directly to clients instead of like focusing on branding and building. But it's still just that suck is an unavoidable part of the journey. Whether you do it on the side, at your full-time day job, or, you know, you're in a position where you can just like dive all in, the suck is going to be there. And especially because you're usually building your skills on top of building your brand, I guess is the best word for it. And that's tough. That's a lot of balancing. That's a lot of, and there's just very few ways to avoid a lot of the mistakes that all of us make of undercharging ourselves, or, like a lot of people who even go through my month, like I can give them like every single tool possible. But sometimes you're just going to have to make all of the classic newbie mistakes that like all of us have to make. Do you have to make them forever? Did I suffer much longer than like needed because I was not thinking really strategically? Yes. And I think if you really, really make a strategic plan, you can avoid a lot of the crap. But it's still unavoidable. Absolutely unavoidable. Sinking through the mud. Also, just don't mind my glasses are on top of my... This is just what I'm doing today. But it's unavoidable to just slog through the suck for at least like a year or two, which I think most people don't want to pay that price, and that's why they never get to the point of being able to control your own schedule. Just getting to the point of working only like a few hours a day, a few hours a week requires so much upfront back-end hustle. You have to be someone worth being paid $75, $100, $200 an hour. You have to build those skills to get to that level, which is hard enough on its own. And you also need to build the back end. Like the back end, nobody wants to talk about how unsexy it is. Of like, you need client generating tactics somehow. You need some way to automatically get clients and constantly. You need a way to ask for referrals. You need a way to ask for payments. You need a way to get contracts signed. You need a way to a CRM, which is a way to like condense all of the information of all of your leads and your clients and your potential leads and your this and who to follow up with. You need a way to manage your email and all the 497,000 bullshit emails you're going to get in your inbox of just like people testing the waters and like what are your rates and like just a little, So the faster that you can like make systems out of all of that, you're going to save yourself a shit ton of headaches down the line. But if you want true lifestyle design and you really, really want to be in control of your schedule, because that's like the number one reason that like, I just like to write. I just happened to, that's cute, fall into copywriting. I just knew I wanted to write. I originally wanted to be a journalist. That did not pay as well as I wanted. And the news is hard to be something to like turn off, like just step away from it and like do your own thing. Like it's, especially now, my God, something is breaking every like 30 minutes. So I realized quickly that was not like a lifestyle design career for me. So I kind of walked away from it. But if you really, really want to like get to the point of designing your own life, here are some things. Number one, you need to design backwards. You need to have some kind of 5-year vision and plan of what the hell you want in your schedule. Like a lot of people are like, oh, I want, a Tesla and a mansion and I want to be able to like, it's so big. And for some people, if you're a person who like dreams really big stuff and you want a Tesla and that gets you up in the morning and you can like focus on the nitty gritty to get that, that's cool. But most people use those things as like a pipe dream of like, oh yeah, one day, and then like do nothing in the like day-to-day terms. So, for a lot of people who like I taught this out with, who want this, I'm like, okay, yes, like keep the big visions. I'm never gonna say don't do that. But you really need the like nitty-gritty day-to-day of what in your current life is not working for you and what you would like, and small things that you can start to check off. Like, okay, do you just have slower mornings? Like, like maybe right now you're annoyed because you get up and you got 15 minutes to like get your shit down at the door and every morning feels so rushed and you're just losing your mind. Okay. So like start waking up 15 minutes earlier and going to bed earlier and making your mornings like you need to have small wins across the way as you get to the bigger vision, because you need to feel like you're gaining some kind of control in your life. Like if I only wanted a Tesla, I'd wake up every day like I don't have a fucking Tesla, like every day, like if that was my only goal. But like, I started with, and that's how I was, like I wanted all the big stuff, and then it's like, and it's, for me, it's demoralizing sometimes. And I like to have little wins and feel like I'm slowly, because, all of the studies have proven if you want to be happy, you need to have some kind of control over your life. That's where most people are wildly unhappy. It's not like money, it's not all these things. It's like control. Some Harvard study, I don't remember. I'm not going to link my sources, Google. But finding little ways to start controlling your schedule will give you so much peace of mind. Maybe that's a little bit longer lunch. Maybe that's being able to, I don't know, wake up early and like play video games for an hour before you go to work. Or maybe it's, of course, if you have like a full-time job, it's hard to start exhibiting control, but you need to find something that you can do that makes you feel like you're slowly getting the ball rolling in this direction. Believe me, for your sanity, start doing this. I used to just be controlled by like my inbox and control, like I didn't start setting boundaries and finding little small wins and finding what made me happy in my schedule, and I was really thinking about this too, because, well, one, I had a call that was very related to this, but also I was making my new fall schedule because I changed my schedule based on the seasons, based on what I want to do, and based on the what's happening in that season. And I've shifted it all around to be what I want now and how I really want to work for the next 3 months. And it's so freeing to be able to do that. But it has taken a long time to get here, and I'm still not all the way where I want to be, but it's like, I just want to talk about it because I think a lot of people sell it like, okay, decide to be a copywriter, set up a website, and then like question mark, question mark, question mark, and then step 4, profit. And it's like, no one fills in these like gaps between, okay, like you want to have a side hustle career where you can control your schedule, which I think is great and bless, and you need to find a skill that will fall into that category if you want to control your schedule. Unless you want to like win the lottery, I don't know how else you'll do it. But obviously copywriting is a great route to get there. And I don't like, people who are in copy for the money, like, I don't care. What the hell do I care? If that's what your motivation is, like, cool. But you got to build the skill to get to that point, to only work like 4 hours a day and charge accordingly. You need to get results for clients. You can't be a bullshit artist. So anyway, small wins. 10 minutes later. Also, the other thing that I would recommend people do in that first year of just going through the hell is to start making a note of the types of clients and projects you'd like to work on that play into that big 5-year vision that you have, right? I don't like to work weekends, which means I had to cut out working for startups and working in the financial industry. Those are 2 industries that do not sleep. They never sleep. They never stop. I remember one time, I was working for a startup, and at the time I was doing a lot of social media work, which I still dabble in here and there, but we put up a post, and then randomly at like midnight, it somehow hit some kind of damn trigger of Rocky. This is what happens when I don't edit videos. It hit some kind of trigger of like the woke world came for our throats. It was such a it just was just a giant error, and it just went wrong and viral in the right way. So all weekend I was like managing the comments of like 400 hate comments pouring in every hour on the hour, and I don't want to do that again. So the point is, I had to cut out industries that did not fit with the ultimate vision that I had for my work. Which is another reason, like, a lot of people ask me, like, why aren't you just gonna, like, start an agency and hire a bunch of writers and graphic designers and just start working on campaigns? It's like, just, I don't like to do calls on Mondays and Fridays. And if you want the agency life, oh boy, you gotta be on call. You gotta be ready at, like, 10 o'clock when some CEO wants some idea to, like, chat with you and, like... So I don't do the agency shit because I don't want it. And so you need to start thinking seriously of, if you want true control over your schedule, what does that look like? Like, truly, what do your days look like? What do you want? If you want to fuck off the grid for like 3 months a year, there are so, like, maybe you'll pick industries that are very seasonal, right? Like, maybe you pick ones that sell really big for like the holiday season. Like, if you were in, I don't know, TVs, like TVs have a huge, and electronics, Black Friday through Christmas is a giant shitstorm of just sales and marketing and like all of these things and just like a push. And then like the months after, like not many people are buying TVs in like January through March, right? Like everybody got their Black Friday deal and now they're done. So you would need to pick accordingly. Everybody wants to like work in the financial industry and I'm like, okay, sick, but like you're never going to sleep again. Just that industry does not, because the laws are changing daily and the market's up and down and it's just like a never ending industry. So that's cool, but you're never gonna get like your lifestyle design really with that kind of industry. So keep that in mind. Or, you know, if you want to work, a lot of people want to do the fitness industry. That is a giant push. Right. You know, someone who's written for the financial or the fitness industry a lot. You're going to be working after Christmas because, you know, the hot time, New Year's Eve, New Year's resolutions. Like, so if you want to like hang out with your family and like do some like, you know, don't work on some work all over like Christmas break, that ain't gonna happen because all of the push is January 1st, and that is where like every single gym goes like starts making their profits, and every single fitness company, and then right before spring break is a very hot time, and then before summer, because everybody wants to get summer shredded. So you need to keep these things in mind of like what you want your life to look like, and do these industries fit in and or support it, right? I've also written for the outdoor industry, and that is, I mean, that one's pretty much all year, bless. But you know, like I was very specific on like snowboarding, and obviously that window is not big, and thank you global warming getting smaller every year. So you just need to be selective about these things and think. And of course, when you're just starting out, if you're still like trying to find your areas that you want to write for, don't let this deter you. You can write for industries and then switch in a few months if you decide it doesn't work for you and now you've got portfolio pieces. Great, move on. But just keep these things in mind before you go all in on X, Y, and Z of like, you know, just like, yeah, only because I've worked with so many people who are like, oh, I've been doing this for like 5 years and I'm still making like $20 an hour and I'm still working like 70 hours a week. And I hate it. And I'm like, right. And you need to make sure that you don't just like quit freelancing and build yourself a job where you're now paying. And you want to talk about the reality of building your own schedule? Okay, great. That's fun. Okay, you now have health insurance. You now have your own taxes and quarterly taxes. That's fun. Have you ever had the IRS come after you? Do that round and have that ulcer. You know, you have to plan for your own retirement. Like, nobody's contributing to your 401k. Like, good luck. You need to build that out yourself. You know, all of these factors that come into like building your own life that nobody talks about because it's not sexy and it's not fun. And it's like, you know, my knowledge, my Lamborghini, fucking Ty Lopez. Cool. So, also the last point, now that we're 23 minutes, who watches these this long? I don't know. But thank you for everybody who does. I appreciate you all so much. There's probably like 5 people left, but like, hi 5 people. You got me. The last point is that you have to build your discipline into such a goddamn machine if you really want lifestyle design, because you need to start being able to fit a 60-hour work week, which is always the case, into a 35-hour week if you want to like have freedom and have flexibility. And that requires systems, one, to automate so much. Like, you know, people fill out your form on your website, which auto triggers like ClickUp, or you use if this then that, and to like auto set this up for so you get an email and a notice on your calendar. All of that will save you plenty of time, because it seems like little things, but 15-20 minutes here or there added up times like 10 clients, and boom, there goes your entire fucking week on bullshit. Not speaking from experience or anything. So automation, but also the absolute focused discipline. Like, you can't have a landing page, if you want to be a copywriter, take you 3 days. Like, you just logistically cannot, unless you're charging like $300 an hour. But if you're at that rate, you're probably not taking that long. So you need to start to develop, which is why I always push onto everybody, Cal Newport and, hang on, and Scott H. Young, Young. His site, and Cal Newport, and also Craig Ballantyne, Ballantyne, Craig Ballantyne. All of them are productivity gurus that you need to just follow their advice to a T and start doing it. Because if you want to take this seriously, you want to build your own schedule, you want to have time to do things, which is something I'm continuously working on, which is why I know what I'm talking about. Your discipline is going to be important. You cannot fuck around all day and then have to fit in your work all evening. Which, like, if that's what you want to do with your life, bless. But you're going to start working like 16-hour days repeatedly if you are not building all of the back end now. Like, I'm still building up the back end and the automation now, which, thank God, because that is the stuff that was eating up so much of my schedule, which is why I have help, why I'm now paying for all kinds of automation, why I'm now offloading more and more to kind of build the time so then my work is untouched and I can just focus and build client relations and make my copy and make sure it's like good and make sure I'm not making stupid mistakes when I'm tired, like and all of these things. So that is it. Develop a vision, work backwards to your day-to-day and how you can start to build to that. Start being really thinking about the long term and the types of clients and the types of work you want to do. Also just like in general, if you don't like to sit around and write with your free time, wow, this is cute. Then why are you getting into copywriting? Like, if you don't like to sit around and write and do words, then like this, there are 400,000 other skills that you can freelance and get into one of those. Really think about, like, what do I want my days to look like? And if that doesn't include, like, writing, or if you're a photographer and you want to get into, like, bridal photography, but, like, weddings, like, you hate weddings, what the fuck are you doing? Like, stop. If you're gonna build something you hate, you might as well get a job. At least they have a 401k and, like, healthcare sometimes. God bless America. So that is it. And then become wildly, wildly, wildly disciplined and build the fucking focus of a superstar. So that is it. Of course, 27 minutes, but whatever. I'm sure most people were here for like the first 4 announcements and then bounce, which is super fair. Anyway, that is how you build Tim Ferriss's goddamn 4-hour work week right there. So that's it. Lifestyle design. Cool. One day I'll make like a cute flashy ending of like hoorah and like things. But until then, bye guys.